But to get the freshest possible brew, you're going to want to ground your beans. Ground? Darn it. Start from there. Hey everyone, I'm Brian with FrenchPressCoffee.com. We've had a lot of folks getting in touch with us with questions about the Airscape canisters from Planetary Design. And so what we're going to do today is we're just going to give you some quick answers to frequently asked questions and give you guys some information so that you can make an informed decision before you add these to your own kitchen or at-home coffee shop. So let's dive right into it. Now, we've already done some in-depth overview videos of the Airscape canisters, and you can check those out if you'd like. But before I dive into this frequently asked question video, let me just show you real quickly what the Airscape canister is all about. It looks fairly similar to most storage canisters you might see in your kitchen or something along those lines, but there's a really big difference about these versus standard canisters. And where that's going to come in is with this really unique inner lid. This lid has a valve on it that, combined with the silicone seal that goes around the outside of it, when you press this lid down inside of the canister, you're actually going to force air up and out of that lid and through that valve. And this is going to allow you to ensure that you keep what is inside the canister as fresh as possible. So, of course, we want to use this for coffee beans. You could use this for plenty of other things that you could store inside of it. But for coffee beans, this is especially great because we all know that it can be kind of hard to store your coffee beans and keep them fresh. So again, I just added some beans to my canister here. And this is the 64-ounce canister right now. And I'm just going to take this lid and press down till I get right on top of those beans, and then flip that handle over, lock it down. And now I'm not going to have air escaping or getting in. I'm going to keep what's inside the canister fresh. And it's really easy to just pull it out, get what I need, and then press it back down. And each of these is, by the way, also going to have a clear lid that you'll then be able to place on top of it. So you've got two seals there, keeping everything fresh and making sure that you get the freshest product that you possibly can out of the canister. Question number one, how many ounces or pounds does each canister hold? At the making of this video, there are two sizes of Airscape canisters. We have a 32 ounce on my left-hand side here and a 64 ounce on my right-hand side. Now, that's basically what these are rated for. We found that you could get maybe a little bit more into either of these, but you need to make sure that you have enough space in order to be able to press that inner lid down, lock it, and then put your second lid on top. So while you might be able to get a little bit more in there, you want to make certain, again, that you give the lid enough space to go down. And by the way, this is going to translate into about a half pound of coffee in the 32 ounce container and a full pound of coffee in the 64 ounce. And again, you might be able to get a little bit more in there, but make sure that you give that inner lid enough room to be pushed down. Question number two, and this has come from some of the folks that we know like to do home roasting out there. And the question is, do the canisters allow CO2 to escape an off gas from what is stored inside of them? The answer is yes. And the easy way to do that very simply is that when you press that lid down, you can leave that handle in its upward position, and this will allow for the valve to be a little bit open, and that way you can off-gas that CO2. You can wait a couple hours, 2 to 3 hours is usually the practice after a fresh roast, and then just press down all the way, lock it down, and you're going to keep what's in there fresh, and it's not going to oxidize, which is a big, really important factor because that's what's going to make sure that you keep your beans as fresh as possible. Question number three, what are the dimensions of each canister? With the 32 ounce canister, you're looking at a 4 3/4 inch base and about 4 inches high. And with the 64 ounce canister, you're looking at, again, a 4 3/4 inch base, same size base as the 32 ounce, but this one is going to come in at about 7 inches high. Question number four, does the black lever lock lid move down as coffee or whatever else you have inside the container is removed? And the answer is yes, most definitely. Again, I'll show you here. I have not a full can of beans right here, and let's say I were to be removing beans, which you're going to, just put that lid in and just keep pressing down. until you meet what is inside there, lock it down, and you're good to go. Again, it's very easy operation. Question number 5, does the lid actually pump air out of the canister? And the answer is no, not necessarily. We're not really pumping the air out per se, because that would actually mean that we were sucking it out with something else. Instead, what this does is it pushes the air out. It pushes the oxygen out, which is going to prevent oxidation and keep whatever is inside the canister as fresh as possible. It doesn't create a vacuum per se, because again, if it did, it would be really hard to pull this out, and that would not make this very usable. Rather, again, it just pushes that air out as much as possible and helps to create the tightest seal that you really could. This is a tighter seal, again, than many other canisters that I've seen where you just put a lid on top. That means there's still air trapped in there, which can cause oxidation of what is inside the canister and things like that. This is going to keep things a lot more fresh. Question number 6, can you use the Airscape coffee container to store ground coffee? And the answer is most definitely, of course you could. But of course, to get the freshest possible brew, you're going to want to grind your beans right before you brew. So that's why we would keep whole bean usually inside of the canister, grind that, and then make a cup of coffee. Question number 7, do the Airscape canisters stack easily? Yeah, I mean, look at this right here. Your results may vary depending on how much product you have inside of the canister, but yes, they stack very easily on top of each other. And I've made a tower, not yet a leaning tower here, but a tower of Airscape canisters, and they've stacked really easily. And our last question, can I put the Airscape canisters into a dishwasher? The answer is yes, technically you could. You would want to put the canister and the lids on the top rack in your dishwasher no matter what, and even then you still want to be a little bit careful with them, but we usually would not suggest putting this in the dishwasher because you want to extend the life of them as much as possible. Hand washing is going to do that, and you want to make sure that no matter what, after you wash these, you get all of the water, all of the condensation, everything out of them, because that would cause, again, some possible issues with what it is that you store in the canister. So wash them by hand, dry them carefully, and they should last for a very, very long time. And that's it, guys. That's our frequently asked questions video for the Airscape canisters by Planetary Design. Now, if you guys have questions that maybe we missed, or if you have some new questions or anything like that, please feel free to get in touch with us. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn our notifications on so you'll know when we upload brand new videos here on FrenchPressCoffee.com. As always, guys, I'm Brian with FrenchPressCoffee.com. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
So did you like that video? So go ahead and give us a like. And for more caffeinated videos, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to our channel as well. And if you do, I'll go ahead and give you a nice little coffee quote. Go on, I'll wait. You did it yet? Come on. There you go. And now for our quote. Remember that if it isn't caffeinated, it ain't coffee.